A very good evening, everyone. Welcome once again on this special Thursday that is set aside for financial literacy and money matters. It is always a pleasure to have you. We know you have so much to do, but you choose to be here with us as we learn together as a community and families. My name is Immaculate Busingye. It is always my pleasure to be here. This is my space, the space I love to be at on every Thursday. So feel free, mark your spot, never miss next time. So as individuals and families and communities, we all strive for a bright future, greater financial security, and more opportunities for the next generation. But tonight's discussion will focus on a topic that impacts nearly every working adult: your choice, your future, paycheck versus entrepreneurship. You can imagine all of us as adults, that is what we all strive for. So some people choose the stability of a career and a paycheck. That is, we go to work, we work for someone, we serve for some company and get a paycheck. Others pursue entrepreneurship and business ownership. So many find themselves balancing both. So you feel like you want to own your business, you want to start your own business, but you feel like you're not ready to let it go. You can balance both. So with that, while these people use those paths for different reasons, they often share, though we use both paths, they may be different, but they often share a common goal. The goal here, whether you work for yourself, whether you're an entrepreneur, the goal is to create financial independence, building wealth, and leaving a lasting legacy to our future generation. So this evening, we'll explore the opportunities, challenges, and the financial realities of each path, that is working for a paycheck or being an entrepreneur. So we'll go deeper to find out what are the challenges there, what are the opportunities for both. We'll dig deeper and be able to find solutions or shed more lights for which is better. None of them is bad, but we can see the differences between them. So tonight, I'm very honored to introduce my co-host, Miss Happiness Uwitonze. We'll be sharing this discussion. Welcome, Uwitonze. Go ahead and give us your intro, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you so much for your courage for always having this Thursday scheduled for us to come and learn different financial opportunities. So we want to thank you for that. I'm so grateful to be here to share my experience working as an entrepreneur. And also I'm here to also share my financial goals and also my intentions when it comes to finance. So my names, as she mentioned, are Happiness Uwitonze. I'm a CEO and founder of Growth Web Digital. I am also an AI strategist as well as a financial professional. So as she mentioned, today we're going to be looking at the differences between paycheck and entrepreneurship. So I'm so glad I'm here to answer any questions that you may have and also sharing my experience. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so very much, Happiness, for that introduction. Yes, so before we dig deeper into the discussion, I wanted to share something very short, just to shed more light on the topic, just as an icebreaker. Then when we're done, we'll go deeper into the discussion with my co-host here. So as you saw on the flyers, the topic is again, your choice, your future. Paycheck versus entrepreneurship. If you need if you have any other question afterwards, we have our contacts on here. We do also have contacts on the flyer. You can ask anything you want. So I wanted to show something. This is like a little summary about this topic. Think about it. I wanted to shed more light on this as we discuss, as we go deeper into the discussion. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about where you are now. Which path are you taking now? Is that where you want to be? Is that where you want to stay? If you want to move, what is holding you? Or do you need any help? Because that is why we are here. We are here as financial professionals. We really hold anybody's hand because we are here because someone else also held our hand. So we're always here to help whoever wants to move from paycheck to entrepreneurship. Paycheck is good because that is what pays our bills, but moving on the other side also could be good. So let us actually try to compare a little bit. This is just a short comparison we're going to do, and then we'll jump into the main discussion. Look at this as those two paths. The paycheck on the side, you work for someone or company ABC, you work for Amazon, you work for Tesla. When you work for someone, they keep you comfortable because that paycheck keeps you comfortable because you know every 2 weeks you're getting a paycheck. You're going to be able to pay your rent, your mortgage, you put your food on your table. But that is it. It keeps you comfortable. It provides this, it will provide your stability because again, you know, money will be coming after 2 weeks. That is if you still have that job. Remember, it is a paycheck from someone, some company. If you're giving your time, you'll be able to get a check. So it provides stability there. It pays the bills. It maintains your current lifestyle or current life. The reason we call it current is because the check you get from someone else, you can only count it when you have it. Because again, when you work for a company ABC, you don't know if tomorrow or next month you're going to still have that job to give you the check. So it maintains your current life or lifestyle as the check still comes in. But to be able to get that check, you have to trade your time for money, meaning that I cannot be sitting here and get a check. I have to go clock somewhere else 9 to 5 to be able to get my check, or even 12 hours to be able to get my check. So meaning that I have to trade time for that check or the money. If I don't put in time, I'm not going to be able to earn the money. Let us look on the other side. When you're an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship or being a business owner challenges you to grow. Remember, nobody's going to cut you a check. The check will come if you work hard, if you put in more time, if you think more, if you become creative. It challenges you to grow so that you're able to get more money or better money. It builds capacity. Remember, when you're an entrepreneur, you use the systems. There are systems out there that helps you to grow your system. So it builds the capacity, my capacity to be able not just to trade my time for money, but because I'm using systems, I'm able to build the capacities to be able to earn money, even when I don't have to clock in somewhere or to put time somewhere. And it also creates opportunity, the opportunity to have that freedom of time, freedom to my family, being able to decide when to take a vacation with my family without having to actually request for a day off from my employer, who can actually decide to say, no, you cannot take any break because the company needs you. It expands your future. So when we're entrepreneurs, when we work for ourselves, you're creating a long-term wealth. You're creating long-term wealth. It's not me clocking in and getting a check. When you're building a business, this business will start actually working itself and actually it will start going beyond today. As we are saying here, that the paycheck maintains your current life. Your business actually, you expand to the future. It will help support my family today, my life today, my children, my grandchildren, because that business is a family business. It builds freedom and legacy. So who doesn't want freedom to choose when to go to work, where to go to work? Because I always tell my people that my laptop is my office. I can choose to fly to wherever I fly tonight, and I carry my laptop. I don't have to ask anyone. As long as I have the transport to go or the ticket to go, I am gone, and my work is not going to miss because I am working wherever I am. So that freedom and legacy, you build the freedom of money. You have enough money because when you're working for yourself again, you're not limited by anything. We'll see another one more slide ahead to see what it is. So they're saying us here, comfort is the enemy of growth. What is comfort? Being comfortable that because I work for Amazon, I'm getting a check. So why do I have to chase something else? I'm getting a check anyways. I'm paying my bills. You're comfortable. You're comfortable with your job. Which job you don't even know if in a month or 2 months to come you have. So you're comfortable and you really don't want to grow something of your own because someone else is cutting you a check. So we're asking ourselves, choose what stretches you, because what stretches you today will actually build something of value tomorrow. It will build your freedom and legacy for the future. So that's why we are here. We are here to learn together to compare these two. We are not saying one of them is bad. A paycheck is good. All of us at one point, we worked for someone, we got that check. Actually, that check helped us to be able to save and move into entrepreneurship. And we always tell our people, you can actually start balancing both. Start your business, stay on your job, until you're comfortable enough to transition into the business. Because at the same time, most businesses, you need actually capital to start the business, or you have at least some safety net, some emergency funds you saved to be able to know that as I start my business, I have some money to be able to take me through before my business shoots up. But with this financial industry that we are in, I always tell my people, it does not even cost you $200 to start off in a financial industry, like in the insurance industry. All you have to do is earn your license, get licensed by your state, and you get your national producer number. You can actually work across the 50 states of the US. So there's no need to limit ourselves because we have everything. You can start working part-time, doing your business part-time until you're able to build something of value that will give you the freedom and the legacy that you want. I want to share one more thing here. So in this scenario, I want to share just the two scenarios here. We see this young lady on the left who happens to be working in a coffee shop. She's an employee working for someone, possibly working, they say she's working for maybe Starbucks or another coffee shop. And then we have another lady here sitting at the beach, doing business. She's an entrepreneur, remember? As an entrepreneur, you don't have to sit in an office. You don't have to be restrained by any space. You can work anywhere you want, as long as you have what you're doing wherever you are. So let us compare these two, the employee and the entrepreneur, and see the differences that they do have. Because the purpose tonight is to compare these two so that we can see what could work better for us as a people, or do I need a transition? If so, how and when can I start to do that? So with an employee, this young lady has to rent her life. You rent your life. That means the many hours she's at this coffee shop, she's lending her life to the employer to be able to get that check we looked at previously. She's restricted income and lifestyle. The income she earns at this coffee shop, it is restricted by how many hours she's able to put in and how much she's able to get to earn per hour. So she cannot decide how much she earns because her boss decides how much she earns and how often she can work. So you achieve your boss's dreams. Why? Because this business is not hers. She's working so hard, serving clients, building the boss's business. or income, she's building someone else's dreams by working for them instead of putting time in their own thing. So most of the time, we have all been there. You live frustrated. You go working somewhere, you're working so hard, they're not even treating you well. But you have to do that because you have to put food on your table, or actually have to be able to pay your bills. That is the life of an employee. We have all been there. If you're there, you know. We don't have to go there deeper. So let's look at the life of an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who works for themselves. You own your life. You choose where to work, when to work, how to work, because this is your business again. It does not mean that you don't work hard. Yes, you work hard, but you decide when, where, and how to work. So you own your life. You don't lend your life to someone else. You own it. So you're not limited by salary. Remember that young lady is possibly paid $10 an hour. If she works $8 a day, that is what she makes on a daily basis. But as an entrepreneur, your salary is not limited by anyone. It is limited on how hard you work or how creative you are in your business. So you're achieving your dreams here because look at that lady there. She's thinking hard. She's doing strategies on how to earn her dreams. She's not earning anybody's dream. She's earning hers. So you go into business for yourself. Again, that is the freedom that we want, to make sure that we are comparing that. So here we have a question here. Would you like to change your life? If so, which direction would you want to take? So this is what we're talking about today. We're not saying any of these two options are wrong. We want you to look at it. Think about it yourself. Where do you want to be? How long do you want to stay as an employee? Do you at one point want to transition? We are here to hold your hand. We help you. We guide you through these processes. They are not hard processes for sure. It's just that people are used to go to work and get paid. They are scared that if I don't go to work, what if I start doing my business and it doesn't work? It's the same thing. You may be working so hard for someone and they wake up and they kick you out. You don't even have an option because you don't know when they will need you or when they will choose to let you go. So these were just like icebreakers to see the comparison between the paycheck entrepreneur. Keep it in your mind. Think about it yourself. You know where you are. You know what you want in your life. Maybe you need a transition. If you do so, we are here to hold your hand and learn with you. I'll end there the presentation. We want to make sure that we go discuss and learn together here. So I'll come back to our discussion here. Coming back to Miss Happiness so that we can again start sharing and learn together here. So, Miss Happiness, I have a few questions I want to ask you because we love this to be interactive, to be able to actually discuss, because these are real life scenarios. These are things we go through, we have all gone through, and we still go through. So, we want to actually discuss and be able to interactively learn together. And our audience, we also want you to jot down your questions, what you want to talk about later. We'll also invite you to come and share with us. So, Miss Happiness, so many people work hard throughout their lives, yet financial freedom often remains out of reach. In your view, as an entrepreneur, as a young person who chose the route of working for yourself, what separates those who simply earn income from those who successfully build long-term wealth or careers? Take us there, Miss Happiness.
Thank you so much again for this opportunity for me to share my experiences and how my view. So first of all, thank you so much for illustrating the differences between somebody who earns a paycheck and somebody who's an entrepreneur. So clearly, we've seen the difference. We've seen that with the person who's earning a paycheck, they have to trade their time. Like we've seen with the coffee shop lady, If she has to be there for 12 hours and she's making $10, that's only she's gonna make $120, and that's all she's gonna make. So she's like, again, you said she's renting her life, she's trading her time in order to make money for a living. And also on the other side, we saw the lady who is sitting at the beach. She's enjoying her life as well as strategizing and finding ways to make more money. I'm pretty sure. Looking at the picture, she looks like she's a rich lady. So we have seen that's a perfect illustration of somebody who's earning a paycheck and someone who is an entrepreneur or has their own business. So before I can answer the question, I'm gonna share my experience a little bit, and on how I first of all got into entrepreneurship. So when I graduated college, I graduated college and then I moved here in Texas, and I got my first job in corporate, where I was very excited. First of all, I was going to work and also use my knowledge that I received in college and now put it in practice. And after a few months, I realized that my creativity was trending. Was honestly, I was actually losing my creativity. I wasn't thinking the way I used to think. Like, people who know me, they know that I am a very creative person. I'm quick with it, so I think of ideas very quickly. So when I was working at a job, I realized that that ability of thinking quickly or having so many ideas and solving problems was vanishing, because I was sitting at a laptop. I have a checklist. I'm just, if I have to respond to emails, that's what I'm doing. I'm checking the checklist. And of course, a few years later, the job, I was laid off because the company ran out of money. So now you're laid off because, well, if the company ran out of money, or maybe they decide to sell the company, you're left with nothing. But the owners of the company, they have invested, they have made their money. So you rented your life, and you got nothing. At the end, you got nothing. Again, that's what we're saying. And also, uh, Miss Immaculate mentioned, comfort is the enemy of growth. Again, you're doing you're doing the job. You're comfortable. You think, oh, I'm good at this job. I'm not gonna lose the job, or I'm not gonna be, get laid off. So you're not using your brain. You're not developing any skills. But then the owner of the company, one, they're developing those skills. Two, they're making money and they're investing money. So to come back on the question, my view, I believe that a paycheck obviously provides income and stability in the moment while you still have that job. So like immediate stability, meaning you can pay your bills, you can pay your mortgage, you can do a little bit of things. I mean, you can also save, right? However, you're not able to you can't have long-term wealth, because one, you're making money for somebody else. So again, you're not. It's not your own. You're not owning it. You're not, as well as investing. Like Immaculate mentioned, when you have your own business, like that's a family legacy. We always see different companies where it's like David and Sons. How do you think that happens? It's because this David started a business and now it is running in their family. How do you think these Rockefeller families have made their money? It's because these businesses they started, one person started a business and it stays in the family. So this is what we're saying. When you are an entrepreneur, you have long-term wealth, meaning it's not just you. It is whoever your line, basically your family, your children, your grandchildren, and anybody who's going to come from you. So that is number one. That's the difference between a paycheck and business and entrepreneurship. One, you're able to own something. You have something that you can call your own. Number two, you are investing, because the more time you put in your business, the more money you're going to make. So you're investing. So basically, the time you invest in your business is equal to the income that you're going to receive. But with a paycheck, if you're investing 12 hours, one, you're losing on family time. Two, you're not even making enough money. There's no way you can make enough money, because if they tell you 12 hours, $10, that's it. You don't have room for making extra income. Again, another thing I want to also mention, you are developing skills. For example, if you're doing life insurance or any insurance, you're gonna get a license, and that license it's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. That license, like Ms. Immaculate mentioned, you get a license here in Texas, you can use it in 53 states. That is something that I have, or we have here, that somebody with a paycheck does not have, right? You're creating value. So when you're creating value, you're making your money, and then you're creating value. And also investing is constant. Sorry, consistent. So this is something that you get to do all the time, week on week, month on month, year on year. But with paycheck, well, maybe when you get laid off, you're not going to be able to invest. See, that those are the clear differences between being an entrepreneur, and having a job, basically paycheck, right? Um, Again, you have the ability or potential to make more money. So if you invest more time in your business, you're definitely going to make more money. If hard work is equals to more money. But with the paycheck, if your job is a salary based, even if you work 70 hours, if you're meant to get $2,000, that's it, regardless of the time you put in. So these are clear examples or differences between a paycheck and owning a business. So in my view, I believe that both are great. Of course, each one of us makes their own decisions. But in my experience, ultimately, financial freedom comes from intentional decisions, discipline, and good habits, and creating assets that supports your future. So, of course, as we're here, we're going to make different decisions, but the ultimate goal is to become financially free. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so very much, Miss Happiness, for that thorough explanations. Yes, that is why we are here. We are here to share. We are not really disregarding anything. We are not discrediting any, saying that because you're an employee or you work for someone, you're doing. But no, we are all actually have all been employees. We have worked for someone. We have done that so many times. But we are saying, can we do better? Can we be the employers at one point? Because these companies we work for, they have the owners, people who started those companies as well. So can I be the next, maybe, which company can you create something and become like Miss Happiness is in AI, Can you create something that can also employ other people? That is actually creating value. You're creating wealth for your family. You're creating jobs for other people. You're creating value, time for yourself. Because this system is in this country. We are actually fortunate to be in a country with systems that can help you work smart, not put 12 hours a day and come back not even able to sleep in the home you bought for yourself, but to be able to leverage the system to work for you so that you can achieve actually the American dream we all work for. So great answer there, Miss Happiness. Another question again. For someone, maybe it could be among us here, people who are in our audience, or someone who listened to our discussion here, for someone trying to decide between pursuing a traditional career, that is a job, or starting a business, or balancing both a career and a business, what financial factors should they consider before making that decision, and how can they position themselves for long-term success, regardless of the path they choose? Take us there again, Miss Happiness. Thank you.
Thank you so much again. These are great questions, and they hit home because I was I was there. I was at a point in my life where I was weighing the options. Look for a job, stay on the paycheck, or learn a skill like AI and do it yourself. I remember when again, sorry, I'm going to share a little bit of my life so that if you're here, you don't think that you're far off from entrepreneurship. That is why I'm bringing a little bit of my life so that if you're here, you're a mother, you're a young mother, you're thinking, oh, I can't start a business. Yes, you can, because I have done it, and it helps me. It is some one, I am able to spend time with my child. So the reason why I'm sharing these stories is so that anyone who is here can see themselves in me, right? So I remember when I had had my baby. I used to sleep and just think, okay, should I get a job or can I start a business? Should I get a job or can I start a business? So I remember if with newborns, you know how every 2 hours they wake up for to feed and change. So for me, in those 2 hours, I used to think, okay, she's gonna wake up in 2 hours, so I might as well stay on the internet and search what I should do so I can stay with her. And that's how I stumbled upon. Of course, I knew about AI, but then I was watching YouTube videos and I saw people actually studying businesses in AI, and that's how I finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna go in and actually become an entrepreneur. So one, before I answer the question, I want to talk about the myth that people have when it comes to starting a business. I think when we look at big businesses, we think, oh, I can't get there. But let me tell you something. Even those businesses, they started from somewhere. Even a kid when when they're growing up, they start from eating soft food and then ultimately start eating solids like us. So even with businesses, you have to understand that when you're an entrepreneur, you have to start from zero basically, and you grow one brick per brick per brick per brick. That's one thing that I wanted to mention because I know people, when you talk about entrepreneurship, they get scared. They're like, oh, how am I going to get clients? No, every day, when at least when you do something, it makes a difference. So you ask the question. Sorry, let me go back to the question. That if someone is trying to decide between pursuing a traditional career and starting a business, how can we balance both? And what financial factors should we consider making those decisions, and how someone can position themselves for long-term success regardless of the path that they choose? Great question. So first of all, everyone who's here, at the end of the day, the decision you're going to make is the one that makes sense to you and your family, right? So between traditional careers and entrepreneurship, com- well, the ultimate goal is to make money. The ultimate goal is to become financially stable. So with a traditional career, you have stability, you have predictable income, of course, benefits, you have health insurance, you have even sometimes you have life insurance, right? So these are the benefits that come with traditional careers. And also, you also have valuable experience, meaning if you work at a bank, for you're a teller for maybe 10 years, that is experience that you have, and nobody can take that from you. So those are the things that you get from a traditional career. But then with entrepreneurship, you have flexibility. You work whenever you want. You work wherever you are. If you're a mother, you can take care of your kid and work, right? If you're somebody who likes to travel, you can work and do what you love to do. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, with entrepreneurship, you have your options. There's options. They're limitless. Again, impact. And so, like she was mentioning, so you're creating jobs for others, you employ other people, and that's the impact that you're creating. And also, you're serving others, like in your community. If you're a business, you're providing a service to your community, so you're serving others, right? And then there's income potential. Like I mentioned in the first question, if I'm putting in 10 hours, if I'm putting in 70 hours in my business, the income that I'm going to get is going to reflect those 70 hours. But with traditional careers, you might put 70 hours and the salary you get does not reflect the 70 hours, right?
Mm.
With traditional careers, there's also the fact of uncertainties, right? You can be laid off. Like last year, we saw hundreds and thousands of people who were laid off. So that's uncertainty that's there. But with entrepreneurship, as long as you're alive and as long as you're working hard, you have a job, right? And then also, um, one thing that I wanted to I want to focus on is no path is better than the other, right? I want to encourage people to focus on what is building strong financial foundation, right? So you want to be able to have a strong financial foundation where you're not evicted. One, you're being able to pay your bills. You're also investing. Because again, for young people, sometimes they think, okay, I'm paying my bills, I'm saving a little bit of money. Oh, I'm good. No, you're not. You have to invest and let money work for you as well, right? And building an emergency fund, meaning if you're sick, you are not able to work. There's some funds that you can be using while you're not able to work, right? You can also we're able to manage your debt wisely, so you can pay off your debt. So this I'm trying to show you that there's no path that is better than the other. Ultimately, what we need to do is build a strong financial foundation, right? And last thing I can say, so many successful people today, they combine both paths, right? So they have a career and also they have their own businesses. A few weeks ago, one of our members, Sarfina, she mentioned something that was very profound. She mentioned how she had been working for a company for over 20 years. And before those 20 years, she worked on their hours. But now that she was an entrepreneur, she was able to go in the office of that company and demand what hours she wanted to work. So if you're going with both paths, you have leverage. You can go at that moment, you have somewhere else you're getting your income. So now you have a beginning power. You can go and tell them, okay, these are the hours I want, this is the money that I want. And if they don't give it to you, you have your plan B. So these are the things that are great for if you're going to both paths. Also, um, again, I'm gonna emphasize on creating value, you and also making financial decisions. So to go back to the question, there is no better path than the other. The ultimate goal is to make better financial decisions. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so very much, Miss Happiness. I couldn't really have asked you to do better than that. The purpose again here, we are not dismissing any, saying that when you're working, that is not a good path. But you want to make sure that actually you have a bargaining power if you work for yourself. You have the freedom to your time. You have a freedom to be able to be with your family, or you can do both, because who has the money? These companies or the employees? We go there because they have the money to give us. Can we create something of our own? For example, this financial industry we are in, you don't even need a lot of money to start your business. You need $120. You join the company, you get licensed. These licenses, if you really work hard on it, the same way we do put time into these companies, it cannot take you more than they normally give you like a month. If we put in enough time, the same way we put 8, 10, 12 hours in a company, ABC, you can get this license in 2 weeks. You get one license in Texas, you get what they call national producer number that will allow you to produce to help people in the 50 states, the whole US. You can imagine that. Just investing less than $200 and you're able to create a business of yourself. We have people work with who makes millions in these jobs here. You could be an engineer, you could be a doctor. I haven't seen a doctor who makes, like an engineer who makes 8 million. I have my boss, my mentor, the mentor that whom I work with under, who actually brought me into the business. He makes 8.2 million a year. People have degrees, they have scratched their heads. I have a master's degree myself. When I was still in the corporate, I didn't make that, you know? So these are options, you know? We see people making money, we think like they are meant to be rich. Nobody's meant to be rich. It is a decision you make. Like the topic we had here, actually the topic we have that is supposed to be, your choice and your future. So the choice you make today is going to decide whether you're going to actually remain where you are. It says your choice, your future. 2 paths, 2 outcomes, 1 decision. So you choose to stay where you are and you stay comfortable. That is fine because you're earning a paycheck, you're paying your bills, but at the same time, you live at the mercy of the company you work for. You don't have a leverage of anything. It's like I go to work. If I don't go to work, I'm not going to eat. But if you put extra time while you're still at that job and be able to leverage the time and get your own license, a license can make you millions that you can't make with the master's degree and the PhDs we have. It is good to have education, don't get me wrong. Go to school. But when we go to school to open up our minds, to be creative. That is why these company owners, most of the time, they employ people who are educated because they know how to do strategies, how to actually create those business plans and stuff like that. But use it for your own good, to create the wealth, to create the generational wealth. Leave something for your children, because that paycheck I make here with a company, whichever company I work with, it's not going to be left for my children. When I'm gone, it's going to go with me. But the business I'm working right now, I have my kids, my children there as my beneficiaries. Because this is what people forget. Right now, what I'm doing right now, I get paid today. If I was to be gone, because the business will go, let me say for the life insurance, for example, because I do like all life insurance. I do life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, home insurance, everything I do, they have what they call residual income. I get paid today as long as they can still have policies. My kids will be paid when I'm well gone. So that is what we call leveraging actually the systems to help you make money. But the company I used to work for 15 years ago, when I left the company, the check got cut right there. There was not even a month that I was paid when I was not there. That was it. You stop working on Friday, the check stops there. Right here, I can travel and still get paid when I'm not even doing anything because the system is making me money. That is what we're talking about. We're just comparing those so that we can see what can we do. We are here as communities, as families, trying to gather the options. We have many options here. We are in a country that has many options. Can we explore those? What is stopping us? That is why we are here to learn together, to explore those options together, not actually discrediting anything. So if you're a person who wants really to start a business, we do business consulting as well. If you don't know what you want to do, but you really feel like you want to work for yourself, reach out to us. We give actually free consultations, complimentary consultations. You come, we sit with you, you see what you want to do. We show you exactly the way because we are here because someone else was able to show us the way because we used to be in your shoes as well. So this is the time we have been all waiting for. Again, as we said from the beginning, we love to have these discussions as interactive as they can be because we learn from you as well. So this is your turn, audience. We request you to open your mics now If you want to send something in the chat, if you're comfortable doing that, possibly you still at work or you actually want to open up your mic and talk to us, we would love to hear from you. Listen to your insights as well, your comments, your questions. Again, we said you can ask your questions in any language you want because we want to make sure that we get to answer you or get to what you need. The floor is open, audience. Take it on, please.
Oh, hello. I just don't have much to say. I just want to say thank you so much for this kind of interactive Zoom that you put up. Uh, I just wanted to contribute something to what Happiness was saying. Most of us really want to start something, but sometimes lack the courage to um, take it on and like have the fear that maybe it will fail or something. So, how would you encourage someone in such a situation and they need to have their life going and also kind of want to figure out how the business things would kind of help them to move on with this American dream you're looking for?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I can help a little bit here, Happiness. You've done so much here. So thank you so much, Sister Berry, again for that great question. Yes, actually, that's what we're talking about. All of us, be myself or Happiness. I've been in this country for quite some time. I worked in corporate. I know what it is. It paid me good, yes, but was I happy there? I guess I was happy because I got a check, but I did not have time to my family. I did not have time for myself. I could not do anything I wanted to do as I do now. So I know. So the problem again, the lack of courage. That is why we are here. We are here. We were fortunate enough to have mentors in our lives in this country who showed us the way. That is why we are here. Take advantage of us. We don't charge you for any consultation. If you want to do something, Betty, please take our numbers are there. Happiness number is there. She's a young mother. She's an entrepreneur. She's in AI business. She's a financial professional doing both at home. You don't even have to have an office. Yes, you can have an office. I do have an office, but you don't have to. I worked about over 8 years in my home, utilizing my home office. Now I can't because I have multiple businesses and I don't want everybody to come to my house. But guess what? You can work in the comfort of your home and make your money. If you have children, you don't have to leave your kids. You don't have to look for a daycare because you can work alongside your children and your family. So balancing family and work, this is what entrepreneurship solves 100%. You balance that because you're able to know, oh, my kids go to school from 8 to 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. I can put all my appointments in the morning or the weekends. You choose that. That is a choice you can't have when you have to work for someone 9 to 5 or 8 to 8 if you're working a 12 shift. So courage is what we all have to do. We have to develop it. Yes, that fear is there. That is where people are stuck in the work job because again, there's that comfort. Because you're not scared that you're gonna lose something, you're not gonna make money, the check is coming if the job is still there. So Betty, you don't have to be discouraged or to be scared. Come on, we'll hold your hand, we'll work with you, we'll mentor you, and you get to what you want because that is part of the services we do offer. Miss Happiness, if you want to add something on that, please do that. Thank you.
Sure, yeah, I can add something. Your question is I guess, how do you start? And how do you keep
Yeah, kind
consistent?
of. How do you break that ice?
Yeah.
Mm.
One, well, number one, you have to start. If you need to pay that $120, you need to pay it. And also, you have to understand that when you're a business owner, and everything that you do adds up. So if you wake up in the morning and decide, okay, I'm going to maybe study for the exam, right? That is something that you're doing toward ownership, right? And then, okay, so let's say you're studying for the exam, you pass the exam, and then you're Also, coming to these meetings, that's also one thing, or that's also you're going the right direction. So as long as you're doing something, it will add up. But of course, if you sit and not do anything, well, then you can't become an owner. Because people think sometimes they're like, oh, I need to, when you start a business, oh, I need to do like 1,000 things in a day. No, that's not how it works. You do one simple thing today, you do another tomorrow, and another tomorrow, and another tomorrow, and then you find yourself having an entire business. And you have to remember also, consistency is key. You have to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. I gave the example of a baby. So when a baby is born, first they're only feeding on, breast milk, right? And or formula. And then breast milk, and then they start soft foods, and then after that they start eating like solids, like older people do. So that goes to show you, anything that you do in this world, you have to start from somewhere. You have to start from zero. Even the Trumps of the world, the Rockefellers of the world, they did not start where they are today, obviously. They started from zero and now they're here. Like the famous song, starting from the bottom, now we're here. So basically, you have to understand that you start from zero, and then as you progress and consistency, then you're owning, you become an owner, or own a business. Thank you.
Yeah. Great question. That was actually a great one. That is what is holding many people back, because people will tell you, oh, you want to do business? Oh, good luck with that. Where are you going to get clients? How are you going to do that? Why do you think other people do it? If we can do it, there's nothing special whatsoever that we have that you don't have. The consistency, as Happiness mentioned, it is what it is. You know your goals, you know your dreams, pursue them without looking on the side. Otherwise, you start telling someone, I was thinking of doing this, they'll be like, oh my goodness, really? Are you going to do that? No, you have your dreams. It is only you who is going to achieve them by actually taking action. That was a brilliant one. Thank you, Betty, again. If no more other questions, we're not going to hold you here. Again, we did actually, I dropped our YouTube link in the chat. If you're new in these trainings are here every Thursday, same time, same link. We do share different topics. As again, our discussions are always centered on financial literacy and money matters. Anything financial we cover. We go, from insurance to owning a home. How can you actually start your own business? We hold your hand, we show you that. So we cover different topics, we have different speakers. So hold your space there. There are so few things in this country that you can get great trainings like this for free. But we are here, it is a crusade of ours to give back to our community. So we are here to learn with our community, share, and learn together. So be comfortable. Come back next week if you want to come back. Again, the topic for today was just to shed light on what is out there. This is where we all are, or where we came from, but we can go beyond that. So, Miss Happiness, if you want to give your final remarks, if no one else has something to add.
Actually, I just want to thank you, both of you, for your insight and educating us. And Happiness, I would like to hear more about even AI, because some of us are really behind and we know it is something that is coming up and taking over everything. So among the topics you are going to bring, please give a shade on that. Also, we need to know about how it works in general. And there's a lot of adverts on social media. Sometimes you are tempted even to subscribe to it, but you don't want again to take your information and then you are not sure of who they are, something like that. Yeah. Other than that, thank you so much. What you are sharing is real, and I wish just it would work out for everyone who is interested.
Thank you so very much. Actually, some time back, about maybe 2 months ago, Happiness did actually a great presentation on AI, how to leverage AI. And we do have a recording on our YouTube. If you want to check on the YouTube, you should be able to see that one as well. It's on there. So yeah, the whole how you can leverage that. But of course, she'll come back. That is why we are here. If we need to go more again, she's here to educate us. Thank you so much again on that one.
My closing remarks is whether you earn your income through paycheck or through business, the ultimate goal is financial stability. That's something that we should all aim for, and so we can leave something for our children and our grandchildren. So yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so very much once again, audience. We appreciate your time. We know time is money. For you to spare this hour to come and be with us, we don't take it for granted. But again, we learn together. And wherever you are, don't stay there. Always strive to move up. Strive to educate yourself. Strive to better yourself. As a person, financially, that is what we need. We are here mostly to live better lives, not for ourselves, but for our generations to come. So again, we're always here Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time, same link, same time. We see you again next week. Look out for the recording and have a great evening.
Thank you.